Hey everybody, it's going to be a short live stream tonight. It was one of those Mondays today where it was just non-stop, just unbelievably busy. So I do apologize for the tardiness, or extreme tardiness for that matter. I wasn't going to do a broadcast tonight, but I thought I'd just pop on, might as well, on my commute home. I just left the office. It was a pretty busy day, but a pretty good day. Hopefully everybody had a great Monday. We have a few things to look forward to, which we'll cover in depth tomorrow. But tonight, I think since it's just so late, I'll just kind of pop on, say hello, and bring you guys along for the ride as I commute home from work. It's probably about 11 o'clock at night, I think, maybe 10:45. We're here live right outside the Sherry Netherland, the GM building, Plaza Hotel, Central Park South. Yeah, Brie Graham's very late. Brills is better late than never. That's true. It's better late than never, and the weather's pretty nice too. So I don't mind being out in the streets in New York late during the summer. It's quite nice. I think we have to take advantage of it while we have it. This week we have the FOMC meeting. And, well, I think the Fed chair is going to reset the street's expectations as it relates to rate cuts. So maybe there'll be some hawkish underpinnings or undertones. We're also going to get more inflation data. CPI is going to be coming out, as well as PPI. Hey, New England Crypto, Mr. G. What's up, everybody? Late night in New York City. We'll probably be on till about maybe midnight, maybe a little less. Depends on how long it takes me to get home. But hey, Rodrigo. Good to see you. I'll give you guys quite a nice shot of 432 Park Avenue here. Now, I did go down into the Apple store today because, as we know, there was the big Apple event. Some big news, Elon Musk making some headlines. Seemed to be a little bit upset about the breaking news that Apple is going to be integrating OpenAI into iOS 18. Now, I think we'll save that conversation for tomorrow because that needs significant breakdown there. But to kind of paraphrase what Elon Musk said, and if you go on Twitter, what he said is, look, if this actually goes through, and if iOS 18 includes OpenAI, it's going to be a massive data privacy issue, and to use Elon's words, he will ban iOS devices from all of his companies. And he'll make any employee who uses an iOS device or an iPhone, which is pretty much everybody, check their iPhones at the door. Now, I think there's a little bit of fog of war here. And you've heard me kind of say this before. Anytime when there's major breaking news, like a major breaking news event like this coming out, everybody kind of jumps to conclusions. I honestly don't think, how should I word this? If you go to the tweet, Elon's tweet was actually marked with the community note, and there was additional context behind the OpenAI deal with Apple. Now, it's not like Apple didn't create their own AI, and it's not like OpenAI is going to have all access to user data. At least that's what it appears right now. So I'd say let's let a few days pass here, and let's at least let Apple make some clarifying statements. We'll see. I don't know, but I think it's interesting. What do you guys think? It's the beautiful Tiffany building, LVMH. Here you have the Amman, New York. So a lot of the scaffolding is coming down here, and the facade is quite beautiful too. You have these gold-plated kind of squares in between the windows. I've told you this a million times already, but the Amman is opening up another location in Mid-Beach, Miami. I think right on 42nd Street and Collins Avenue. So, Francis's Team Android. Yeah, I mean, let's take a poll in the chat. How many of you are iOS users and how many of you use Android? I mean, I use iOS. I think the Apple user interface is quite nice. I think iOS is very seamless, particularly to have all your applications in one. Now, Elon has also hinted at the fact that he may build his own device, may build his own phone. I don't want to say that Apple is indestructible, because those are the famous last words as we stand outside of Trump Tower, but I also would not want to bet against Elon Musk. Let's just say that.
Have you seen Trump today?
Say again?
Have you seen Trump today?
Oh no, I haven't seen Trump today, no.
Oh, okay. Is he coming out today or something, or?
I think he's in Florida.
Oh, he's in Florida?
Yeah, I think he's in Florida today.
All right,
yeah.
cool. All right. Have a good one, man.
All right, take care. Have a good one. Yeah, people say Elon is always up to something, but I don't know. I'd never really want to bet against Elon Musk. It seems like everything that guy touches turns to gold. So look, let's see if he puts out a device. We'll see. I don't know. Hey, Patrice 2020, what's up? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Dave, Western Mass Dave, good to see you. I always like this view standing here. 56th Street, looking up at 432 Park. Josie says Trump is in Florida. That's what I thought. And you can kind of tell when he is or is not in New York, because Fifth Avenue is actually walkable. Same with East 56th Street. All the police barricades, for the most part, are down, which is nice. So you don't have that crowdedness, if you will. Yeah, Dave, you know, Mondays tend to be a little bit crazy, particularly in the summer. From my experience, in the summer, particularly in New York, a lot of people take a half day on Friday and they just totally, check out until Monday morning. So you have like this backlog of people getting back to you and, things like that. So it's pretty busy, but, busy is good. I'll never complain about being busy, because that means the opportunity to do business increases. So, good stuff, all good stuff. Just the Peninsula Hotel to our right. And to the left, since we're walking on the other side of the street tonight, you'll be able to see the Mandarin Oriental Residences. Look at that. Right outside of the University Club. Our team is actually going to preview some of the units in here. So maybe I'll try to take some footage and send it to you guys. But if you're familiar with the franchise Mandarin Oriental, if you've stayed in some of their hotels, you could now buy condos here as well. Right on the corner of West 54th Street and 5th Avenue. Above the Coach store is the new residences at Mandarin Oriental. I don't know, I think a 5th Avenue location for living is quite interesting. Because if you think about, like, if you really think about it, right? 57th Street. Well, actually, let's go one more. Okay, 59th Street, Central Park South, and 5th Avenue, all the way down. Not a lot. I mean, you wouldn't really think a ton of residential, except quite obviously this big black building right here, which is the Olympic Tower. But I don't know. We'll see. Usually all along 5th Avenue is a lot of retail, a lot of office, not too much residential. But maybe it'll work. I think it'll work. I think, you know, if I was the salesperson on that, I almost am positive they're probably getting objections that, well, there's going to be a lot of foot traffic in the summer. Too many tourists in and around my building. Some people don't like that. If you've been in Manhattan, particularly in the summer, let's say on a Saturday afternoon, 5th Avenue is bumper to bumper traffic, not only with vehicles, but with human beings. So I don't know, maybe that could be a potential detractor. We'll see how it sells. We'll stay up to date on it. How about that? Yeah, Patrick Deese is really late tonight, extremely late, but better late than never, right? Now, this is the facade of the University Club. Just an amazing building. Absolutely love it. And Nvidia had its stock split today, which maybe we'll talk a little bit more about tomorrow when we have our broadcast. I really wish somehow I could take you guys inside here, because it's honestly really breathtaking in here. There's a few buildings that I'd like to point out. One of which, finally, the name of it came back to me. The Osborne. If you guys are like a big architecture junkie, go ahead and check out the Osborne. Now, the Osborne sits adjacent to Carnegie Hall. It's just the most beautiful building ever. And I can't remember, I think at the very end of the broadcast last night, I showed you guys this apartment that's for sale, but it's really not an apartment. The guy made it a full office and library. It's just absolutely unbelievable. Let me see if I can. Hey, Solo 401 is here. What's going on? Good to see you, sir. You guys got to check this out. So here's a photo from the listing. Okay, inside the Osborne. It's just this gorgeous library, and behind it, right behind this picture, there's this massive spiral staircase that leads you to the second floor of this apartment. So again, not an apartment. It's technically an apartment, but they converted it into a full office and library. Just the detail is unbelievable. Massive spiral staircase. I think they do have a very small Murphy bed there. But if you go to Street Easy, or you just go on Google Images, type in the Osborne, take a look at some of the listing photos. It's unbelievable. I think if I had a ridiculous amount of disposable cash, I'd probably just buy that. I know it's probably not like the greatest investment, but I would use that place as my office. That is the most beautiful, honestly, most beautiful place ever. Anyway, all right, let's make this right. You have Microsoft. It's very quiet this late at night. I actually kind of like it. Hey, Mr. G is here. What's up? This is the New York City office building. Will sell at such a discount. It's 67% below the purchase price and less than what's still owed to the mortgage company. A lot of those deals have been popping up. It's something we've been talking about. There'll be a lot of foreclosure auctions and things like that, which is good for the long-term prospects in New York City. Because the problem is, a lot of these landlords that own these buildings, they have such a large outstanding debt balance and high vacancy. So they have expenses increasing because interest rates are increasing, and their cash flows and just revenue in general is going down. So they don't even have the money to get these buildings rent ready to make it more attractive to attract tenants in the first place. So this is the point of the cycle where you need just a reset. You need to click a reset button. And I think that's exactly what you're going to get. So foreclosure is not the end of the world. It's not like super scary. Yeah, people are going to lose money. Unfortunately, I never want to see anybody lose money. But this will allow capital allocators to come in, buy at, a reasonable valuation to either, rehab the property, or what's more than likely in many scenarios is just tear the thing down and just build something else. Particularly if you could build residential or something like that. This is another beautiful building here. I think this is going to be the Rolex Tower or something like that coming up. Another good shot of 432 Park. Chris's rental is secondary. Well, our team is pitching to take over a listing, which is a big new development. I can't say which one it is, but our pitch is, some of the more premium units, like the penthouses, that are listed right now at $2,500 a foot. Again, I can't disclose the exact location, but in and around the Village, let's just say. Now, at $2,500 a foot for the East Village, that's high. I mean, that's, those prices, you're not going to get those prices anymore. But you may get those prices again should the market improve. So kind of what we're trying to pitch as we're standing right outside of St. Patrick's Cathedral is, how about you just take those trophy units off the market, rent it out for now, and drop the price for the other units, to a more reasonable price per square foot, maybe like $1,600, $1,650. You'll sell those. This way you can get some sales under your belt, get the building to, let's say, 70% sold. That's probably going to take 24 months. It's about 2 years to do that. And in 24 months, it's going to be a very different market. And then you could reposition those trophy units when the market is probably a little bit hotter. So sometimes developers will do that. They'll say, look, it's a little bit of a soft market. We think in a hot market, we can command extremely high price per square foot. Let's go ahead and rent this. Let's go ahead and rent this for now. And then we'll put it back on the market as a true sponsor unit, right? We'll touch it up, we'll make it perfect, and then we'll do a punch list at closing. You're gonna see a lot of that too. Jeff W277 says, what time do you start work tomorrow? Early. I got an early start. Not super early, 8 o'clock. And then, where am I going? I'll actually tell you guys. Hold on one second. On my calendar. I have to go to a preview at the Thompson House. It's like a breakfast. So I'll let you know what I think. RCE Goat, this is Tom, do you work out? No, we don't do any form of exercise. All exercise is banned. At least, okay, let me rephrase that. Exercise is not banned, it's temporarily banned until 2027. Now, I don't make those rules. I have no say in those rules. I just have to follow those rules. But yeah, there's a temporary ban in place till 2027. Again, nothing I could do personally about that, but we'll see what happens after that. But it's been a big thing going around the city. You know, this is even above Mayor Eric Adams. This comes right from the governor, Kathy Hochul. So we are now at Rockefeller Center. I feel as if they should have made that roller skating rink again. Hey, Wall Street finance guy, good to see you. Tomorrow and the next day are the big days. We're gonna hear from our good friend Fed Chair Jerome Powell. We also had the NVIDIA stock split. Connor says, are we not going to Soho tonight? No, we can't go to Soho tonight. I just wanted to pop on just to say hello to everybody. You know, it is a little late. I just got carried away at work today, but I just want to pop on, say hello to everybody. Just have a little chat, a little walk around, and tomorrow I'm really going to make it a point to start off the live stream in Tribeca. We'll take a walk around Soho, go to Little Italy. We haven't been to Little Italy in a long time. Honestly, we haven't been south of 23rd Street in a really long time. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, we were talking about the news of the new iOS release and the partnership with OpenAI, and how Elon Musk is not too happy about that. He sent out a series of tweets, a litany of tweets, or posts, however you want to call them, saying that if this actually goes through, this is an egregious privacy violation according to Musk. Now, I think there's a few, and I said this before a lot of people came in, I do believe this is the fog of war phase. Meaning we don't know all the details, and I believe that Elon fired off that tweet and his own post got a community note, and I think there's not to overuse the term misinformation, but it's true. I think there's a little bit of misinformation going around. Because Apple, it's not like, his allegation is that Apple doesn't have their own AI, which is not true. So his own post got hit with the community note. Now maybe, he's a busy guy. He probably just looked at it at a one-off and then, fired off some tweets and essentially said that if this goes through, and if there's an OpenAI product on every iPhone, that's going to be a huge security breach, and he's going to ban all Apple products at his companies, which I don't know if that would go over well, because everybody uses Apple products. And he said, quote unquote, I'll actually paraphrase. He said, I would have my employees check their iOS devices before entering any of the premises. I don't know. Guys, look at how long the line is for Adele's Famous. This is crazy, and it's almost midnight. Look at that. 3T3 says the worry is if OpenAI has access to all data, that's an issue. It is an issue, but I don't think that's the case though. TK Porsche says Elon is misinformed about the way Apple is handling users' content and privacy. I agree with that for now. But I agree. I agree. Now, many people have said that Apple no longer innovates anymore. A lot of their product releases have been just copycats of what they've done before. I think that changed with the Vision Pro. I think the Vision Pro is pretty big, pretty groundbreaking. I think the initial hype or the initial push of the Vision Pro is huge. And even myself, I think I may have gotten a little bit ahead of my skis there. But I still think the technology is cool. I was inside the Apple store today, and there was a lot of people sitting and buying these Vision Pros. But I guess in any event, Apple's trying to play catch up in the game of artificial intelligence. It's obvious. I think one of their... Let's just wait for this car to go by. This is the Diamond District. I don't know if this was planned, but this is the Diamond District, and you have a straight shot to JP Morgan Chase office tower, CEO Jamie Dimon. And the facade of the building has all diamonds on it. Solo401 says iPhone is the same every year. Pretty much. You know, I forgot, when I was in Miami, I forgot my... Whoa. Thanks. I forgot my other phone that I usually take videos on, and I used my iPhone 11, or maybe it was a 12, I think it was a 12, to record videos in 4K, and the quality is the exact same in my view. I can't tell a difference between the 4K video on a 12 and on the newer models. Maybe extremely slight differences, but the quality of the video is still pretty good on the older versions. Gary says, hey Tom, I think Apple is always very careful, and they are slowly integrating OpenAI into Siri, which is already pretty well developed. I mean, how cool would it be to actually have the full functionalities of, let's say, like a GPT in replacement of Siri? Because I don't know, I don't think Siri's that good, to be honest. I feel as if we would really hit it out of the park, which is obviously what Apple is trying to do, is to have a fully functioning, fully capable, something like a GPT, ChatGPT, but in a kind of like a voice interface like Siri, to be able to actually do tasks, answer questions without it being so cryptic and robotic. Because, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but my experience with Siri is pretty useless. It's pretty useless. Maybe if you want to set an alarm or something like that, it'll work. But if you try to give it any type of command where it has to like think for itself a little bit and go in other applications, it's pretty useless, in my view. TK Porsche Siri is not good now, but as demonstrated today, it will be a great tool in iOS 18. I hope it will. And if it is, let's just assume it is, and this is a massive success, that's massively bullish for Apple. Because what Apple has going for it is the massive user base. Everybody, for the most part, right, has an Apple product. Maybe they don't have an iPhone, maybe they'll have something else, like an iPad or a Mac. But that's just going to be one more thing that really cements people staying with iOS and not switching, and having people convert from Android to iOS. NAV407 says you only see the video quality difference when you zoom in. That's true, and also there's no wide angle 4K 60 frames per second on the older models. Oh. I think the wide angle lens, at least in 4K 60 frames a second, was on the iPhone 12 and up, or iPhone 13 and up, excuse me. Checking out this view of One Vanderbilt. We'll cross the street this way. Oh wow, guys, look at this. Empire State Building looks great. It's like a green light display tonight. That's cool. What do you guys think? Now, last night it was all red. Today it's green. Keith says, hey Tom, are there any restaurants open in New York as we speak? There's probably a lot of bodegas open, not so much the restaurants. Now, if you want sit-down restaurants that are open late, I would go to Koreatown, because Koreans have a really, really big culture of staying out extremely late, and they also have a big drinking culture there too. So if you're looking for restaurants that are open late, I would try some of the Korean barbecue spots. But you're not gonna find like an Italian restaurant or something like that open at 1 a.m. But Korean barbecue is a fun time. Very, very fun time. There's some bars in and around Penn Station that are open at 4 a.m. But pretty much bodegas are 24/7. Let's bang this right by Mark Benioff, Salesforce Tower. Yeah, the short guy says bodegas have sandwiches. Now, there's a really good bodega slash deli right inside Penn Station, but the old Penn Station. So they have really good Italian gyros, like really, really good. And I think they're open at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I sometimes go there waiting for the train. I want to say it's called Don Pepe's, but I'm not too good with names. It's right across from the old Amtrak waiting room. It's a really, really good bodega there. Hey, Monica. Good to see you. Long time no see. Oh, that's right. The later we stream, we get more international audience because of the time difference. It's good to see you guys. Tomorrow we're also going to be talking about Japanese equities because Japan looks to be making its, I should say, second or third wave into new highs. Now I'm very optimistic on Japan, and it's an interesting, I'll just kind of give you a quick preface of why. We've talked about it before, but many people would say, wait, how could you be bullish on Japan? They're going into population collapse. And here's my thesis. I'm bullish on Japan because they're going into population collapse. Now, does that sound strange? Well, let me explain. Oftentimes, you want to try to identify a catalyst. And sometimes the problem in and of itself is the catalyst for what's to come. You need to have vision to see through the issue. So let me further explain. I don't want to give it all away. We've written about this many times in the newsletter. But just take a look at the policies Japan is actively putting in place to combat the population decline. Yes, increased immigration is one, and Japan used to never, ever, ever have more of an open, liberal style immigration policy like we have in the US. Japan is a very, very much homogenous society, but that's starting to change. That's number one. Number two, well, we'll disclose that on tomorrow's broadcast, but when everybody is getting very negative Japan, gross equity exposure to, I should say gross exposure to Japanese equities are at all-time lows. Also, you're going to have a lot more manufacturing activity move to Japan. I think Japan over the next decade could go through a mini renaissance and have their economy really, really start to rock. All while the Japanese indice has hit a new all-time record high, the first time since 1989. So we'll talk a little bit about that later. I have a quick question for the chat before we part ways here. This restaurant, is anybody familiar with this restaurant directly in front of us? Raising Cane's. Has anybody been there? Anybody dined here, eaten here, whatnot? I'm starting to see a lot of these stores open up all over New York City. There's one right here in Times Square, but they also just opened up a brand new location inside Penn Station that actually looks really nice. The inside of the dining room, I mean, it looks really, really modern and new. There's these really cool digital ordering kiosks. Maybe tomorrow night, if we have time to go to Penn Station, I'll show you, but I'm starting to see them all over New York, and I've never seen them. I've never seen that chain before in my life. Brian says, love Raising Cane's. C. Brown says, yes, but I'm not a fan. Connor says, yes, it's good, but not amazing. The Short Guy says, never been, looks like a diner. I've never been either. I don't think this is a New York thing. I'll have to do a little bit of research into the company. Mock East, I like the one in Soho. Is it a New York thing? I don't know. I've just started to see them pop up this year. Alex is not, canes are lame. I'm intrigued because every time I walk past the location in Penn Station, which just opened probably a few days ago, and this one, it's always packed. We'll wait for the light and we'll see how packed it is at midnight. Anyway, the question is, who owns that? Brian says they are big in Texas. Now, who's the big conglomerate that owns it? Or is it a privately owned entity, or is it publicly traded? I don't know. I'm curious, though. Tim in Michigan says no, it's a South and a West thing. Buncher in Vegas. The first time I ever had In-N-Out Burger was in Vegas. That was the first time I ever had it. And I didn't really think anything of it. Honestly, I didn't even think it was that good. This kind of looks a little gimmicky, doesn't it? I mean, I understand that it's Times Square, but looks a little gimmicky, I guess. Maybe because it's a flagship store. It's the global flagship, according to the signage here. So mind you, this is midnight, and Kenny's just Raising Cane's is privately held. Oh, I thought so. But it seems to be pretty popular. Anyway, I just try to keep my ear to the ground on new establishments that seem to be pretty popular. That's really the only reason why I was familiar with Cava, is because I kept getting texts from my friends saying, dude, you got to check out this new place called Cava. And I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. And turns out they were publicly traded. And then I started covering the stock. Looks like they're selling merch. That's hilarious. Meld says, Tom, we got you to try Cava. Yeah, and I liked it. I thought it was okay. Have I eaten at Cava since I went originally? No. It's not that I didn't like the food. It's just that it's a certain style of food that I can't eat every day. Chipotle is something you could eat every day, but people are lined up to eat at Cava at almost every single location in the city. In any event, ever since I read that book, oh, Alicia Keys is going to be here. Hell's Kitchen, a new musical from Alicia Keys. That's cool. But ever since I read that book, One Up on Wall Street, by Peter Lynch, it's kind of trained me just to keep an eye out for different trends. What are people buying? Like, what new trends are people doing? You know, to use his words, to paraphrase in his book, Peter Lynch says, you know, when you take your kids or take your wife to the mall, pay close attention which type of stores they're going to. I think now, you know, maybe that strategy is a little bit outdated. Nobody really goes to the mall anymore. But I think you can apply that same strategy to e-commerce. That's kind of how I first found out about the company ELF, E-L-F. And that stock, I mean, over the course of 2 years, up hundreds of %. And that's where a lot of the Gen Z generation buys the cosmetics, like makeup and things like that. So always having your ear to the ground. If you have kids, ask your kids, you know, what's the cool thing that everybody's talking about in high school or middle school. Anyway, let's head over to Restaurant Row. China River. It's an interesting name. Hey, Michael C. Good to see you. Mock, he says, I respect Cane's for expanding out. I have no idea why you can't get an In-N-Out burger in New York City. True, you would think with the massive hit that it is in LA, In-N-Out burger, they would expand a location in New York, because there's a lot of people from LA in New York. But maybe they do that for strategic business reasons. Well, I don't know why. But for me, honestly, I didn't like it. I thought I would rather go to I wouldn't rather go to any of these places, but I honestly didn't even think the In-N-Out food was good. I thought it was bad food. It was so small, I would much rather go to a Shake Shack or a Five Guys. Anyway, if you guys are enjoying this late night stream in New York, feel free to leave a like on the video. Click the subscribe button if you're new. We try to do these every single night, starting at 8:45, if we are on time, God willing. This is the Intercontinental Hotel. I'm curious to see what these garage rates are. So this is an outdoor parking garage. We'll see what the monthly rates are. Maybe it's only daily. Monthly rate $600, which honestly isn't bad, but this isn't inside, so your car is going to be exposed to the elements for $600 a month. We'll investigate further, shall we? Bicycle rate. You could park your bicycle here for $10 on a daily rate, or $200 a month you could pay to park your bicycle here. I'd rather have the thing get freaking stolen than pay these people $200 to leave my bicycle, to be quite honest. But I wonder if anybody actually takes them up on that offer to park their bicycle for $200 a month. But yeah, monthly rate $600 a month to park your car. That's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. But it is kind of bad to be outside and have your car exposed to all the elements here. You know, rain, snow, wind, salt. Interesting. But yeah, $600 a month, actually not bad. Actually quite good. Look at this place, Japanese barbecue. Never been here. Looks like a fun spot in there, doesn't it? And it's a mark. All right, we'll run comps. I'm actively working while we are streaming here, but I think it's fun. We get to scope out all the different comps in the neighborhood. All right, this parking garage, let's see what the monthly rates are. $600 too. Not bad. And you can be inside. Ah, okay. Additional cost for an oversized vehicle. And that includes vans, SUVs, and pickup trucks. So $750 a month to park an SUV. If you have like a BMW X5 or an X7, $750. That's kind of more in line with what it is on the Upper East Side. Now, if you have an exotic vehicle or a luxury vehicle, it's usually anywhere from $300 to $450 on top of that rack rate, which can take it over $1,000 a month just to park your car. What do you guys think? Oh, this looks like a new residential development. Look at this. Work in progress. Residential building anticipated completion February of 2025. Actually kind of looks quite nice. I don't know about the location though. You're right across the street from this Ramada Inn. It looks a little questionable. But look, it starts with one, right? It starts with one building that goes up. This building is probably going to be taken out. The next one will probably be taken out and developed and built up. And if I had to make a prediction, I'll make a quick prediction, okay? You see this parking garage right here? This parking garage will probably not be here in the next 3 years. They'll probably have sold out to somebody. They'll probably have sold out to a developer, and that'll probably be residential as well. That's good news. That means more residential inventory is coming onto the market, and that's kind of what we need. The thing is, do people want to be this close to Times Square? Probably not. But neighborhoods can change. Perceptions can change. So we're now in the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood. Matthews says, did they ever build parking below the residences? Sometimes they do. This is Rudy's Bar and Grill. This is a popular spot. They have this pig out here. It's been out here for a long time. Look at the view of Central Park Tower from here though. How cool is that? Central Park Tower right here. I think the sky looks awesome with the clouds. Beautiful summer night. Hey, what's up, Tom? Tom AK is here. Thanks for joining us. Well, I think it's almost midnight here, team. So, again, I just wanted to pop on, say hello, give a little bit of a walk around. And tomorrow we should be on time, 8:45. So if you enjoyed the live stream tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video. Click the subscribe button if you're new. And we will see you right back here on Walks in Wall Street, hopefully from Tribeca or Soho, tomorrow at 8:45. John, thank you. Patrice, Paul, Western Mass Dave, Joseph, Kenny, New England Crypto, Matthew M, Mohammed, T-Cal, Shannon, Karina Thompson, Richard Scott, August Ice, Victor C, Mark Summers, Sally, Mach E, Alexis Garcia, Elias, Zozo Bob, TK Porsche. See you guys tomorrow. Take care.
I told him not. He kept yelling at me. I'm like, sorry, bro. I'm not